There's this other kind of music. I watch the young people and I see that they've taken it into the church. And when they're dancing and they have their hand here. Have you seen it? For example, where did it come from? What's the source of reggae music?
It is a spiritual music with spiritual ingredients for spiritual purpose.
He's the author of music. Music is for worshiping and praising God. That's the primary thing it's supposed to do.
But since when the adversary, the master of deception, was cast down from heaven, it literally has been determined to distort that plan, as you heard from Pastor Chris, and introduced several strategies aimed to lead men astray.
One of the areas you must be very careful is in music. Symbolisms. Music. And I've warned, and you need to take this seriously.
Music is a spiritual thing. You don't play with music. If you play with music, you will die young.
There is a supernatural force behind music, a supernatural force that cannot be denied. People worship God through music. People praise God through music. And even in the occult, they sometimes channel their spirits through music and chants. There is a supernatural force behind music, a supernatural force that cannot be denied. Both in the Old and the New Testaments, there are many references that point to the latent power of music. Time and time again in the Bible, we see instances of the power of music. 2 Chronicles 5:13 and 14. It came even to pass, as the trumpeters and singers were as one, to make
And dance, they're connected to your emotions, directly connected to your soul. And that's what Satan wants. He wants to make connection with your soul. And the ultimate plan is to deter us from getting to relate properly with God and to get us to be a worshiper of the devil. I said reggae, for example. Where did it come from? What's the source of reggae music?
Music is psychology, see? And if the music does not penetrate the heart, the soul, and the mind, and the body, then you ain't gonna feel it. Because reggae music is not something that you hear, it's something you feel. See? And if you don't feel it, you can't know it. See? It is a spiritual music with spiritual ingredients for spiritual purposes.
And I've never seen anybody who was into reggae for a long time and didn't have demonic activities come into his home and into his life. And I'm serious. So don't deceive yourself. So, oh, well, God has called me into this. If God is calling you into something, it needs to be pure. It needs to be from God. It shouldn't be something that's going to be bringing devils into your life. But reggae is not the only one. Have you ever noticed juju worshippers? They drum a lot. They drum a lot. And they dance a lot. A lot of the dancing steps that people get from the world, a lot of them are to demons. These are things that are the movements of devils. I've dealt a lot with people with evil spirits. Some of you may have been in some meetings where we're doing those things. The moment I start addressing the evil spirit, you see some, they start dancing. And the guy or the girl is not in control. They go like this. How many of you have seen them? And you think they're going to fall. They can bend in an awkward way and still be standing. Why? Because it's not them, it's the evil spirit. And they're twisting themselves in some funny way. If you began to drum for them, they will show you their dance. The same dance that they do at the shrines.
Music is a spiritual thing. You don't play with music. If you play with music, you will die young. You see, because when the higher forces give you the gift of music, musicianship, it must be well used.
Unknown to many, music and acts have been so far used to promote all forms of negative worship and driving the agenda of the adversary for many years. Unfortunately, some of these things have also crept into the church.
Music that is not of God. I say it's very dangerous to go into some kind of music that is basically worldly, not known to be Christian, and then we want to Christianize it. How worldly should we get?